What's up, MPX addicts? Welcome to the MPX Rehab. I am your host, the hashtag certified Mark J. Williams, here with my co-host, as always.
We had one return show, and you're almost going to announce everything as mainline. Just one return show, and it's all
just one.
Okay. The voice of the MPX addicts, Kyle Smith.
This weekend was, it's in the title. What a weekend. Jeebus Crow. We were at 3 different shows. We had a correspondent at a 4th show. It's just, whew.
Can you call him a correspondent when he's part of the show?
He wasn't actually part of that one, though, unfortunately.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, I was talking to somebody else.
I thought you were talking about Tony. Okay.
Oh, no. Although I do get information from
Well, yeah, that's what I figured. I figured your correspondent was Tony. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's more of the show, but all right.
Yeah, no. You got a point there. But... Of course, MPX Rehab, this one is to concentrate on Metroplex Wrestling, and this last weekend was one of the biggest shows of the year for Metroplex Wrestling, the Texas Rumble for 2023.
It is, at least to me, in my eyes, 1, it's my favorite event. Love the Texas Rumble. And then 2, I think, while yes, Purple Rain is the big show, Destiny's a big show, I think the Texas Rumble is the biggest show. I think it is the one where... it is always standing room only. Purple Rain, Destiny, sometimes they get close. A lot of times they do have standing room only. But it is almost guaranteed every year Texas Rumble is standing room only. Texas Rumble will have people turned away. I watched
a few of them getting turned away.
So to me, I think it is, at least like I said, in my fans' eyes, it's safe to say this is the biggest show of the year for MPX.
I can absolutely understand that mindset because this one, we had 30 men and women in the ring. Some of them we don't see very often. Having all of them here at the same time. Maybe not all in the ring at the same time, but all of them at the show at the same time.
I'm almost positive, and we'll talk about it later, that is someone's MPX debut. I don't think they have ever been in MPX.
I think you may be absolutely right there.
They've been in that building, just not for MPX. So,
but that is the Rumble itself. We'll get to that in just a bit. Let's go ahead and talk about the 3 matches that happened before it. We started out with the MPX Prospect Championship match. It was supposed to be Red's 4th defense against Corey Jyrite, and that is now a part of his official ring name, so I'm using that.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's a little long, but I get it. That's cool. But no, it is. You said it's supposed to be his 4th defense. It was the 4th defense. Just,
Well, okay, yeah, it was supposed to be his 4th successul defense in his eyes.
Yeah.
But things went a little hinky towards the end.
I don't know what you're talking about. The one thing, the match was amazing. I think it really was. Out of the 3 matches announced, obviously, at least to me, because I wanted it main event anyways, and it wouldn't be, but whatever. The only other thing to really get that crowd going and excited would be Tatum and Locke, but you can't do it. That match, the Red and Kari, was amazing way to start. And it was one of, for me, I guess, yes, Tatum and Locke was great. Eagle and Collins was good. To me, as far as just matches, singles that we had, this was match of the night. Red and Kari were phenomenal. And it's something that... they're both very talented, and you're always just kind of curious, is chemistry or something? And to me, it looked like it was.
Yeah. I
think immediately and maybe it's because of the storylines going in with Red and everything he's going through with, the ex-Sons of Mayhem or whatever they're calling them, JD's group. And then also Kari's kind of redemption arc and angle that he's got going himself.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was just a great story that they told in the middle of the ring, and the action they did, the moves they did, just chemistry was there. I thought it was really good. I loved Red's new gear. I loved that.
Finally getting to use his favorite bit of it.
Right, exactly. Stuff like that. Little inside jokes and just the gear itself that looked amazing. That was my only thing, and I get it's a lot to say, but I really wish Cody had introduced him as the son of the Saturday Night Savior, the son of Mayhem, that guy, Red Chambers. Just use them all, because when you
tried on Mainline.
When you look... because when you look at his gear, it's got the Saturday Night Savior. He clearly says that guy, and he even has Son of Mayhem. Like, I don't know. I feel, yes, it is a mouthful and it is a lot for an introduction, but use them. I think that would be really good. And then, of course, the Reincarnation of Excellence. Ever since that debuted, that has been one of my favorite monikers. I have loved that ever since Kari started using it almost a year and a half ago, I think.
I think so, yeah.
It
was around
the
time of his re-debut at MPX along with Civil Disorder. So
exactly, and again, this is something that I am a little torn on. Because one, I'm super excited. Kari finally has a belt.
I'll admit, breaking kayfabe. My first thought was it's about damn time.
It is for Kari to have a singles title in MPX. It's long overdue. I think it's great. At first, like I said, I was torn just because I guess I was more looking forward to Red getting that successful title defense and kind of seeing where we go with that.
Yeah.
Now, and we'll wait for spoilers later, but given what happened later on the night, obviously that is still something that's going to happen, so it's all fine and good. So now it's going to be interesting to see how Kari does with these title defenses and where he goes with that. Do I think Kari gets all 4? I really don't. Do I think he gets 3? Probably, just because of the matches he can have and the high quality and good matches he can have.
That's true. And with Destiny being moved back from its usual mid-March time frame to early April, there's a lot of time for him to get those defenses, though. And we could see Kari, kind of sort of follow in the footsteps of his erstwhile tag team brother of Exodus Prime, which we'll get to that interesting twist as well, because, man, that blew us completely out of the water. I almost think that was on purpose.
Probably. But that's the other thing I love about MPX is all the curveballs they do, and the curveballs they grow are always great. I've said it time and time again, and people say I'm just a shill or whatever, and that's fine, but I truly do believe it as a fan. MPX has never really let me down.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there are times immediately I'll be like, I don't get it, it doesn't make sense. But then when it plays out, you're like, okay, fuck, that was way better. I mean, it's something that the bookers and writers and whatever you want to call them, management in MPX has always been super good at, is changing what you expect is going to happen, and in some cases making it better. Is it always better? No, but in some cases it's just as good. Plus it's also the surprise element.
Yeah,
that's something me and you have talked about it before here. As much wrestling as we've watched, especially at MPX, we do kind of have that sense of we feel we know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
and a lot of times it does. But there are times like this, mainly with Exodus, thinking, which we'll go ahead and spoil that a little bit, being in the Rumble, but then not being in the Rumble. It's one of those where it's like, oh, well, what are we going to do? And then we see what happens, and we're like, okay, I can get behind this. This is going to be really cool. It's going to be a fun ride.
Then we have the MPX Addicts Championship.
Which I guess we should kind of go back, as you said. We didn't really talk about the match itself, how there was foolery in the match, as you like to say. I don't know. No, what are you talking about?
No, what was funny,
Kari won.
Where I was positioned, I'm sitting there watching as Joe is sneaking around the back of the crowd to run in on Red. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I was like, I'm so glad I know what I know and I do what I do.
Well, I'll be honest, I didn't see it until he was literally like right up on the ring. And I was like, oh, good for him. He actually snuck through the crowd. No one noticed. I guess I was wrong. I guess I didn't see or think of him at all.
I was quite literally sitting out. I was like right in front of concessions.
You were right behind me, I thought. Oh, you didn't stay there the whole time? Oh, okay. I thought you were standing right behind me the whole time.
No, somebody asked me if I could. Okay. They were shorter than me. So.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I remember, because it's again standing room only, and front row sold out really quick. So I'm in the second row. The Cole
that couldn't do his thing.
Yeah, no. I had Greg in front of me because he had front row, and then I had the Coles and my girlfriend behind me, and I thought you were behind them. So I didn't. Okay, but
that had been the plan, but I realized there were a few people who were going to be like, "You're back," and want to talk to me. And that did happen. So.
But I totally didn't see Joe till he was right up at that barricade and ring post. So I'm like, oh, good for him sneaking through.
I felt a little bad for JD though, because did you see him coming out? No, when he came out, he went to go grab the prospect belt, right?
Oh, I did catch that. It wasn't at the table; it was already in the ring, and he's like, oh, and he did that little quick turn. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm just like that's kind of funny. I was like, part of me is like, I hope nobody else saw that, and another part of me is like, that is probably the funniest damn moment in the entire match.
But no, the match, like I said, it was good, and it was. I think in moments like that, especially, that kind of shows to me how good it is. Because, yeah, there's a lot of times I'm looking around expecting something. And for me to be so engrossed in the match and not really catch Joe until that minute, I was like, oh, okay, it's a good match. You're focused on what you should be focused on.
Yeah, no, it's like if I'd been sitting where I was, then definitely I probably would have, missed it until he got in the ring, but I just happened to be placed right there at the right place.
Could have done a full Jericho. We sat in the crowd the whole time with the mask, just waiting.
There was a guy in a complete Rey Mysterio mask get up. So
that would have been
interesting.
That was right in front of me too.
But yeah, that match was really good. And, with Kari being the new MPX Prospect Champion, I am very glad that he's finally got a championship belt, because this is a dude that deserves to be a champion.
Yeah.
And with everything that happened with Civil Disorder and the tag team belts, I really feel like he didn't get the chance to shine as a tag team champion that he should have had.
Right.
Now he's a solo champion for one of the more interesting, engaging belts in the entire company.
And not even that. When you look at, for the most part, not all, because people are going to jump down my throat saying, oh, every match great. No. But when you look at the Prospect title and the Prospect title matches, those matches are usually match of the night. They are great matches. They are phenomenal matches. And to have that belt on Kari, who can produce those matches with almost anyone, I'm telling you, the matches we're going to get with his little title reign here, I think are going to be some of the best of the year. I
absolutely agree with you, because we got Mr. Match of the Night thanks to the MPX Prospect. Or actually, the Addicts.
That was the Addicts. That was Ryan.
Yep. Yeah, go catch on the network the series of matches between Chandler Hopkins and Ryan Remington. You'll see why he got Mr. Match of the Night as a moniker.
Him and Swerve Strickland.
Oh, that one was good too. But Prospect matches. I mean, we got some really, really good ones. That final match between Red and Tommy last year, or year before.
Yeah, the ladder match.
Yeah.
I mean, the Prospect title is always one of the most interesting belts and interesting titles. And like I said, I think to have it on Kari and the type of matches we're going to get from him out of this title run, I think are going to be amazing. And like I said, I think some of them very well may be match of the year contenders.
Yep. I was thinking the wrong Impact player. Should have been thinking Dave, not Ryan.
Right. Yeah, Dave was the one who held the Prospect like 20,000 times.
Because it was his belt, damn it. Kind of wish he'd held it one last time during one of his final runs.
Should have won it back on his last day in Texas.
But then we had the MPX Addicts Championship, which Aaron Eagle, was this his first defense of the belt?
Yes. This was his first event. This is actually first appearance since he won the title. He's just been doing the videos.
Yeah.
Which, like I had talked about last time, I don't like when your champion's not there, but the fact that he kept a presence and it was engaging, I loved it. It's like I said, when Tatum was injured, how he was always there. Great. When you look at the Attitude Era with Austin and his knees and his neck, even though he was a champion, he would come out, do the little breakup brawl thing, and that's it. He never worked a match, but you saw him 20 times a night.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that's great, because it does keep your champions out there.
Yeah. And of course, there's the whole thing of, excuse me. Last year,
word hard.
This has been a tiring week and weekend and everything. It's just been really exhausting. I went from not doing any wrestling to doing all the wrestling. So, but I'm talking the Matt Palmer, JD Griffey rivalry from last year. There was a lot being pushed about it, and Matt was in the ring during those matches only.
Right.
Except for the
first run in, and I think there was a second run in, but they built that 4 months, maybe 5. And they only touched each other like twice. Everything else was through vignettes or JD there running his mouth, which is great.
Yeah.
Those are some good long feuds that you're not necessarily getting bogged down and bored with seeing match after match after match after match, which with those two you probably wouldn't. You probably could watch them fight all day.
Yeah.
But it does sometimes get tiresome seeing the same matchups over and over and over. But to have something like that you can build and keep your name out there like Aaron Eagle. Like I said, this is the first time he's made an appearance since winning the belt. And
taking on Concrete Nate Collins.
Yeah.
And all people.
That was something that, because kind of like you said, I mean, granted, I know you haven't been there, but it seems like he's been there every week, because we've always got something. We've either got something on the Addicts page or we got a vignette in the building of him saying something. And I love Aaron Eagle he's one of the best heels we have just because of his interactions. I fully agree.
Honestly, it's like this is going to be weird to say, he has filled the gap that was left by Dexter Hardaway's retirement.
I think so.
And it's like I made the joke last week of maybe he graduated from the Dexter Hardaway School of social media. I still feel a lot that way because Dexter Hardaway was the king of social media for pro wrestling in Texas, and Aaron Eagle is very much just following that same idea. It
is, and it's that also. I think the comparison's still there too because of the vet heel experience that we're getting that kind of has been lacking in MPX for a bit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And the matches Aaron has put on, Eagle has put on, have been fucking amazing. And how he does the cancellation or canceled or whatever, the powerbomb lung blower.
Oh yeah, no, he's wanting to cancel me.
Oh my gosh, that powerbomb lung blower is beautiful. And he hits it perfect almost everyone he's done. It's just so great. And then having an opponent like Nate Collins, very interesting. Just because, like I said, kind of going in, we kind of said it's one of those where it's like, oh, we know kind of what's going to happen, even though we may not. Like we said, no, maybe Nate does pull up an upset and drops it, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's Eagle's going to be around to stay a little bit longer than Nate, I think. I don't think we're going to see Nate much, at least as much as we see Eagle. So going in, Eagle's going to win, but it's still a very good match. Nate has, I think, improved a lot since times we've seen him. He's always been good, but there's always been... It's like he was trying to find himself or find what he was doing. At first, the very, very first time we saw him, he kind of was very fast and high-flying. Second time we saw him, he was more grounded technician, BJJ, almost trying to be Jerome Daniels light. And now I think he's finally kind of got who he wants to be and what he is.
I agree, and I do think a lot of that has to do with him being in the tag team with Eddie Martinez. The horsepower has been a really great boon for him, as both of them really. But it's been a really great boon for him to help himself figure out what he wants to be, what he wants to do in the business.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And like I said, the match was good. Eagle getting the win. You being corrected on the incorrect pose time, so I guess you can no longer do the pose countdown because you're wrong. When referee Nick says you're wrong, you're wrong. You don't question Nick.
You didn't see the wad of cash in his back pocket?
Nope. Don't do that to Nick. That was for the graphics and the videos. That was not for whatever you're thinking.
Yeah. We all know he was paid off.
Paid off for the amazing ass work he does.
He does do amazing work, actually. Nope. I report honestly. I report truth.
Man,
won't be the first official at MPX I've had it out with.
And that one actually hired you. What the fuck?
I know, right? Hey, Tony's here.
Hey.
Stick around for Rehab After Dark, Tony. We'll talk about you. But then we had the MPX Championship match, a no-holds-barred, no-time limit match between Tatum Manning, 1 in a million, and the All-Star Matlock. This was... Oh, damn.
I think this was... I've seen Tatum do hardcore matches and be physical and stuff like that. There was a spot in here, and it was actually captured beautifully on camera by the Pulvers. The exploder through the chair. I saw that coming. I'm like, oh, there's no way Tatum's taking this. Tatum's not going to take it. Holy shit, Tatum took it. And he took it beautifully and perfect. And I was just super happy and proud that Tatum actually did that because I don't know why. And I shouldn't question Tatum because Tatum is a tough fucking bastard. But there are times I'll see him do these hardcore matches. I'm like, oh, Tatum's not going to do that. And then he does. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah,
it's like he just impresses me more and more every time he does these type of matches.
There are times in which I'm just like, has Tatum reached his height? And he'll be like, nah, no, keep going.
No, and that's one thing I've always loved about Tatum is no matter how good he is, and Tatum is very good, he seems to get better in certain areas. I think this heel run, we've seen some of the best character and mic work we've seen out of Tatum as far as a heel.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. This feels like a much more grown-up Tatum Manning than we've seen.
Oh, it most definitely is.
And I'm not talking grown-up as in edgy adult stuff or something like that. I'm talking like, when he first started, he was obviously the very green rookie and everything like that. His time in Menage a Trois, he was a young party boy and all that fun stuff. And when he went face, and during that whole run, he was the, white meat pretty boy baby face, and just felt very, there were a lot of moments in which he felt very teenaged in that. But the moment he went heel with this run and everything, it just felt like he had, reached he
leveled up. He reached a new, level, and it's something that it's very weird to think of, I guess, how long he's been doing it. In a lot of cases, he's considered a vet amongst a lot of the people he's in the ring with.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of crazy to think how young he is, but how experienced he is and how good he is.
Oh, yeah.
And it's one of those where when this matchup first happened, this feud and everything like that, I'm like, oh, Locke is clearly going to destroy him. Like, that's Locke. And Tatum I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an attitude. I don't know if he's got something that's clicked in him, but he is this Tatum Manning is very physical. This Tatum Manning is very cunning and smart, and I love it. Like I said, I think this is one of my favorite Tatum Mannings we've had.
Yeah, I agree. And honestly, it's like I think with the level of seriousness that Matt Locke has had since he came back, he still does some of the fun stuff and everything, like when he kept Cody from repeating 1 in a million Tatum Manning.
Yeah.
And everything like that. He's still got this level of seriousness himself that he's had since he, came back from his hiatus and everything. I think, honestly, if it were Tatum as a face and Matt as a heel with the same kind of seriousness that they both have, I honestly would have felt more like Matt was going to absolutely lay waste to Tatum with that.
Yeah.
But with Tatum having the heel, side of it, I guess, it just really felt like, as dirty as Matt could fight with all of this, he, Tatum just still had that extra ounce of fuck you.
Well, and it's also like I said, the more viciousness we got of Tatum, like the just repeating Locke's head into the door till it broke.
Yeah.
Like things like that. The kendo stick, just beating the shit out of Locke. And just
stuff you would not see with it. I don't think you'd really see with a face Tatum. To be honest.
And we saw a Red Rain match with him and Dave where he was the face, and they did a lot of stuff that again I never thought Tatum would do, and he did.
Yeah.
But again, the viciousness is turned up to like 11 with this run, and I love it. And this match was very good. It did everything I thought it needed to do. It still made Locke kind of super strong, I think. And the fact that, he lost, but he still is a kind of top contender a little bit in the eyes of the fans and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Matt lost nothing from this.
And Tatum is fucking stronger than ever,
Yeah.
And still the champion. And while, yes, the idea is for the Rumble winner to fight who we assume is going to be Tatum going in Destiny, with, like you said, Destiny is now a month and a week away. Is Tatum going to be able to keep the title that long to Destiny to fight that Rumble winner?
We'll see. I mean, that's really putting him up there in days holding the belt.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Exactly.
But let's go ahead and talk about the Rumble itself. Tony's actually saying he's tired of Tatum Manning having the strap, and he's asking who's going to take it off of him. And I think that the very guy that we're going to be talking about here, that guy,
maybe, or
may have a good chance of doing it.
Like I said, just because the Rumble doesn't mean that it's going to be that person.
That's true.
And Tatum. I still, Locke is still in there. Like I said, the interactions we saw with Brick and Tatum in that tag match, I want to see that match.
Yes.
I know he wasn't in the Rumble. Exodus is, I think, still something that's a contender. There's a lot of things we could do.
Especially if Tatum is the reason Exodus wasn't in the Rumble.
I don't know why you would say that. No, clearly the person who took Exodus' spot is the one who did it right. Isn't that what the whole vignette kind of proves in the video?
Yeah. No, not always.
Pretty sure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Last time somebody got knocked out and their place taken, it actually turned out to be someone completely different. Remember? Because it was Tatum Manning that everybody thought did it.
Oh, so Frankie's coming back for it? Frankie hit Exodus?
Sure. Let's go.
Actually,
with that.
good point. Where the fuck is Casey? God, we haven't seen him in forever.
I agree. Yeah. I don't know.
I was expecting him in the Rumble. I guess. Another one I was wrong.
Yeah. But
we saw Ghost too, by the way.
We had. He's not dead.
Clearly.
We saw a whole bunch of great things in the Texas Rumble this year, and honestly, I enjoyed pretty much all of it. First off, we started off with Sky being the number one entrant, and number two being a returning Dylan Smasher. And we were actually just talking about it last week.
Yeah, and Dylan looked good.
He did. I'm just really glad that he's back.
Yeah, that was great. To me, one of the MVPs of the Rumble. Granted, he wasn't in there long, but the things he did were amazing. Jake Lindsay.
Oh, yeah.
The judge, just... Jesus, it's almost like Tatum. He's so young, yet he's so fucking good.
Oh, yeah. No, and the fact that he's very staunchly, showed himself to be remaining a heel, at least for right now.
Yeah.
Because when he had Dylan in the corner down, he's yelling at him, "You're nothing without Matt."
Exactly.
And I'm just like, damn, bro.
It's little things like that. It's just like, holy shit. And then, like I said, and we've seen it. We don't get to see it a lot, but the athleticism that kid has.
Oh, yeah. No,
and the way he moves and how fast he moves, he's so talented. And that is someone, like, I'm kind of happy for the Sons of Mayhem split because if done right, and hopefully management kind of does, if done right, that is their monster heel they can build around.
I agree.
And build stories and build feuds around.
I mean, especially if the winner of the Rumble happens to go on to win at Destiny, you've got a rivalry right there, too.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I know he wasn't in there long, but the things Jake did, I just thought were impressive. Yeah.
Well, we're talking about him not being in there long. Let's go ahead and talk about the guy who actually eliminated him. It's like as soon as I noticed this, I was laughing for a solid minute because I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know if they meant to do that. I don't know if that was entirely on purpose or what, but Caleb Riley, the golden boy, Noah 2.0, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Him actually being the one to eliminate Jake was funny to me because he's the brand new rookie. Just has had 4 matches now,
if that. Yeah.
If you include the Rumble.
Right.
And he's the one who eliminates last year's Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show what title he's shooting for right off the bat.
Of course. But yeah, I just that is something that kind of was a little weird to me was how long Caleb lasted. Not that it was bad. I thought he did very well, actually. But he lasted a lot longer than I thought someone that fresh out of training would. But before that, the one that entered before him was a huge surprise to me, and I was super excited because I love him, Shimbashi.
Yes. No.
Because he's one of those that's like, oh, we're not going to get a lot. And we've got him a lot more than I thought we ever would, and I'm so happy because he is also very talented. And Shimbashi coming in and taking out Sky. I thought that was pretty impressive and struck me as like, okay, interesting.
I thought it was really interesting. At least for a while, you had both members of the Lost Boys in there at the same time. And they did do a lot to work together. But unfortunately, I guess the loss of the titles, might have...
Yeah, that, and it's also, it's a Rumble. It's every man for themselves.
True, that is true. They never even got a chance to actually fight each other, though. Every time they started to square up.
They fight each other all the time anyways.
Yeah.
They're probably fighting right now. So
Probably. But speaking of tag teams that were in there, Chip Mandalay, Chad Delvine coming in one right after the other, the Confident Cards doing their absolute best to, and you can tell that this is their first time as a tag team in this situation because there was a few moments in which they were both like, what do we do next? And not so much I missed the spot. It's just like, okay, everything's done. Now what?
Yeah.
But I did love how often they were there for each other.
Yep.
They performed like a tag team in the Rumble, not just, okay, let's go off and, we'll attack this one guy together and then go off and do our own thing. They were constantly at each other's back to, pull them back from being thrown or help them, take on somebody. It was back and forth constantly. Yeah. And it wasn't until, later on, number 12, that they both got, eliminated.
Yeah, until the cleaner and the monster that comes out.
The ungodly heathen, the world breaker,
till Brick comes out and just decides, you know what, I don't like you, I'm going to get rid of you, and eliminates almost everyone that's in the ring.
He eliminated about half of the current competitors at that point. It was the other guy who came in next,
making the MPX debut.
I think you're right about that. I mean, we've seen him in the building.
I'm almost positive it's his MPX debut, and it is someone who if you were to give me, if I was to give you 30 names that would actually make an appearance on Rumble, I don't think I would put his name on there because, that's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. And we got Shane Taylor, and that was amazing. And then we got to see the tease that I'm pretty sure has happened before, but I wasn't there to see it, and I'm much rather see it live, especially at MPX.
Yeah.
Shane Taylor and Brick.
Shane Taylor versus Brick Savage. This was kind of a dream match situation. Like you said, I think you're right. I think they have done it before.
I want to say it was Texoma. I'm not entirely sure. I think it was Texoma, but I definitely want to see that matchup because
Tony says Shane Taylor and Brick has happened.
Yeah, I want to see that at an MPX ring. I think the building could handle it, maybe.
I have to say that when it comes down to it, I feel so bad for Zero. Because he went in there and he did his damnedest, but he
did well, though. I mean, for going in there against Brick and Shane, when that's all that's in the ring, Zero not backing down, balls to the wall, went at two of the biggest motherfuckers in that Rumble, and did not back down, and took it to him, and even rocked Shane a little bit. And Shane, he caught Shane by surprise. Shane finally caught on. Even played to the crowd of saying, "Is this your hero?" and then just knocked the fuck out of him.
Oh God, yeah.
That whole spot I thought was done very well.
Yeah, and of course after that, Dylan Caven's coming in. I finally get to talk about him.
I love that little kid. He's so tiny and so fast and so good, and also the energy he has when he comes out.
Yeah, he came out with that explosive energy, and while Zero did good to stand on his own, Dylan came in and actually used that energy of his to knock back Brick and Shane both.
Yeah,
and it's like he had a hell of a run. Unfortunately, it was a very short run.
It was. Every run he has a short though, so Yeah.
Well. But it's like he did his best. Unfortunately, it didn't last as long as he'd like. But when it comes down to it, the fight between Brick Savage and Shane Taylor ending the way it did, it's that whole thing of that there's. With the stipulations of a Rumble match, Brick stood back up and was mad because, it was like, I'm not done.
Right. And that's, like you had talked about when we were previewing the Rumble, we may not get we may get some ideas of what will happen or whatever. That is something I think is definitely teased that is going to play out later. I think you had talked about, your example was Hardakis and Brixton. Very well could be Shane and Brick somewhere down the road at MPX because of this little interaction, because of the crowd's reaction. That is the only time in the whole night, if I remember correctly, the crowd chanting, "This is awesome." And it was Shane and Brick just staring off. Hadn't even touched each other yet. Just staring down each other. And the whole crowd just going, "This is awesome." And they didn't even do anything yet.
You could see amazing. The grin on Shane's face as it was happening.
Amazing.
He's just like, I love this. That was a moment where Shane Taylor was like, yes, this is why I do this shit.
It was fucking awesome. So hopefully that is something we can get down the road.
But then after that, we had the back-to-back of, Gabe Wilder coming in, Mikey B coming in. And Mikey B being the smartest person.
I was going to say, kudos to Mikey. One, yes, played his character perfectly. I love Mikey's chicken shit heel. I love it. I know I kind of go back and forth like, my favorite heel is this. When it comes down to it, I guess because my favorite wrestler of all time is Shawn Michaels, and my favorite Shawn Michaels was 92, 93 when he was that chicken shit heel. That is what Mikey B reminds me of a lot. And the fact that he pulled that off, being in there at in the Rumble without actually being in the Rumble, and the fact that I forgot where it was. I want to say it was around Athena's entrance, which is at 21. I forgot Mikey was there.
Yeah.
He literally just walked in front once. I go, holy shit, Mikey, good job. I forgot you were even here. Like, it was so, I thought he did so well at that.
He made himself inconspicuous, which for someone like the boy band Behemoth, that's impressive.
And that's the thing, too. When I do look back and, talk to people about it, he hid under the ring for maybe a second or so. He didn't hide under there a lot. Mm-hmm. He was out. He was talking to Cody or Tyler. He was fucking with them. He was around the ringside. He was very visible. I just fucking didn't see it, and I thought that was holy crap. That's good.
He did enough to make himself, like not the center of attention. Yeah, that he didn't take away from the action in the ring.
It's like if anyone's watched Arrested Development, the school that they send the boarding school they send Buster School, where kids shouldn't be heard and shouldn't be seen. Mm-hmm. And he made that an art to where he doesn't make a sound. He's always hiding behind corners, stuff like that, and he's never seen. That's what fucking Mikey did, and it was beautiful.
Yeah. But then, Joe Angelo Garcia comes in, and while it was great to see Michael Schaefer, I wish that LP had still been in the ring.
He cost me money. I had 19, Schaefer.
You had 19?
That was the one time I rooted for you. I led a Schaefer chant, damn it.
But when it comes down to it, it was actually the entrant after Michael Schaefer that things became, very intense in the ring, because Red came out
right
after having just lost his belt, and the majority of that, him putting the blame on Joe, obviously runs in and just doesn't even, he likes the fans now and all that, but now he's just like, no, I have one target, goes in there, goes after Joe, just pummels him.
Yep.
I was expecting this to be a it was like, okay, he's going to pummel him, and they're going to both get tossed out. And
either that, or you're honestly expecting number 21 to be Jerome.
Yeah.
Which it wasn't. That's later.
No, but that was, much later.
21 was the big name we had that we knew about. Mm-hmm. Not that, others like Shane aren't big, but Athena coming out and going, proving how she still is one of the best. Mm-hmm. And then
she brought down Shane Taylor.
Yeah.
It took a whole bunch of people to eliminate him, but she brought him down.
And then we just had that run of women, which was great to see.
Yes.
With her,
Athena,
Hilda, and Morgan. And it was
having
amazing.
seen Dexter in the crowd, I was with you on. It's like, are we going to see Nova too? This is going to be fucking amazing.
But and that was another one I thought that surely would make a return, because it's Rumble and always does, but Baby D. Mm-hmm. I really thought that would happen. I thought we would see Jamie again. It'd be great. But no, didn't happen this year. So maybe later.
She is at home with her husband, who wants to stay on his couch.
Yes. And I totally
bitch about AEW.
Trust me, I totally get that, because I definitely wanted to do that today. I'm fucking tired. But yes, it was great to see that little run and everything. And then 24 is where, like I said, it confuses me. Mm-hmm. Not confuse me. I get why, and I get the story and the curveball. What confuses me is the Tommy Becker replaces Exodus. Tommy Becker was already announced for the Rumble. Why is he replacing when he's already been announced?
Yeah, I kind of...
That was the only... you have all
small
these...
plot hole.
You have all these mystery people that weren't announced for the Rumble. Like, you had, I want to say, and I may be wrong, you had 15 unannounced spots. You couldn't just have one of those 15 people be the one to replace?
I don't know.
Unless this does become a story with the Tommy Becker and Exodus Prime, that one little thing just bothers me.
Yeah.
And I know it's very minute and stupid, and no one else really picks up on that other than me, but it does. It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
When the Tommy Becker was announced.
I'm putting it as either Tatum Manning or Corey Wright.
Yeah. I mean, who knows?
So that, Exodus doesn't have a chance to take the belt before he gets it.
Yeah.
But that Matthew Palmer coming in and the momentary, he's like the teamwork he and Athena were able to put in. That was a lot of fun to watch.
He just ran in there and kissed her. Is that really teamwork?
Well, they worked together a lot.
Does that call for teamwork when you go in there and just kiss your wife?
Too.
I actually really thought as soon as he did that, he was going to kiss her and then just throw her out. I really thought that was the spot.
You cost me last year. It's my turn this year.
Exactly. I was like, holy shit, if they actually do that, that's pretty funny.
But actually, I really appreciated the two of them still being in there like they were, especially as, the surprise entrant we saw a little later. Although, at the same time, I don't think anybody...
What, the Kid Mayhem?
No. Later than that. But yeah, Kid Mayhem coming out, he tried.
Well, and it's also great because even as fans, we know Dalton usually films everything like that. We haven't seen him in a month and a half, maybe 2 months. So it was great to see him. And hopefully this is maybe kind of, once he's healed, the start of him being able to get some more ring time and actually be a part of the show.
I agree.
Because he's, again, for his age, he is good. And then, we had Shane, we had Brick, we had Schaefer. Then we had probably the biggest man come into the Rumble at 27.
He's the one who hurt DMG. Well, okay, DMG hurt himself.
I was going to say, I was like, hold up. Let's
it was
be
when
honest.
Angel knocked him off the apron that he fell and.
Yeah, it's wrestling. It happens.
It's honestly, it's like this is a full contact, theatrical sport. Shit happens,
and he's a tough fucking kid. He's fine.
It's like, except for
some... probably is not the first time he's broken or sprained of something, so he's fine.
Well, I was going to say, it's like, unless it's a repeat thing consistently again and again and again, a shiner, a sprained wrist, a broken nose, stuff like that, it happens. There's no reason to think anybody is dangerous because of that. It's only when somebody's doing it again and again and again, and then mysteriously brought back as number 30 for the fucking Rumble for no goddamn reason. Jax.
Why are you talking about Eagle like that?
Talking about Nia Jax.
Oh, Nia. Yeah, fuck that. But Angel coming out being huge, and then 28, just nothing happened. It was great. It was weird. Now let's be honest, because you were near me. I jumped out. That's the only time I jumped out of my seat in the Rumble.
As soon as I heard the music, it's like, dude, I'm not afraid to admit this. I was tearing up. I was so happy to see him.
Yeah.
I'm mad at myself more than anything else because I was so fixed on getting mainline set up. I didn't come back inside.
Yeah, I didn't get to talk to the man.
I was like, I saw him going, finishing up talking to somebody and then walking to the back. I called out, "Hey, boss!" and he kept walking.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was tired and exhausted.
I didn't. I didn't get to talk to him either. But that is the only time I actually stood up during the Rumble. That's when Kirby's music hit.
It proved one thing, and I was told through sources that he was actually worried about this.
He still fucking got it.
People, well, not just he still got it, people still care.
Oh, yeah.
People still love
People are
Mr.
always
Mayhem,
care.
Stephen Kirby.
Yeah, that was great, and it made, given what happens later on, it makes so much sense to have the son, the kid, and Mr. Mayhem all in there together. I thought it was great.
Yeah. It's like seeing, and then JD being the one to come out right after that.
That also brings out one of my favorite moments of the Rumble is when JD eliminates Athena and Palmer loses his fucking mind and just starts beating the shit out of JD. I love that. Thought that was great.
But... and then there's also, JD and Kirby, or Kirby starting to try and eliminate Red.
Yeah.
Because it's the Rumble.
Right.
Love you, kid, but I'm still going to try and win.
Yeah.
And JD gets down there and he's like, yeah, let's do this move. And Kirby just stops and looks over at him like, what are you doing?
That was great. I love the setups and everything to the finals, and then
it's like I had two finish ideas that I would have loved to have seen. That armchair, if I were booking it, I would have had it either end as Kirby versus Red, in which the true passing of the torch there, right? Mm-hmm. Or the other idea that I had was have it be JD and Red as the final two, which they were. But when JD goes to eliminate Red at one point, with Kirby still in the ring,
right.
Kirby pushes Red out of the way, takes the hit, and gets eliminated that way. Takes the bullet for him.
Right.
And it's like, it kind of happened.
Yeah, a little bit.
And everything. Kirby distracted JD. JD eliminated Kirby. Mm-hmm. And that allowed Red to, it looked like Red did not know where he was through that entire part.
I mean, probably not, because...
which just definitely shows he is definitely the son of Kirby.
Well, and it's like I said, there wasn't really an Iron Man in the match. Mm-hmm. Technically, it was Red. I want to say Red was in the longest time. And then he also worked that grueling match before. So... yeah, as far as the overall night, fucking Red, Iron Man. Mm-hmm. And then that moment was really cool because it was one of those where, okay, this is this is our guy. This is, the MPX graduate. This is that guy. This is the son of Mayhem. He's got that crowning achievement. He's won, the Texas Rumble. And then to have Kids Camp come out, to have Kirby come out, that was just a really cool moment.
Yeah, no, honestly, the Texas Rumble this year, there's a reason I chose that to be the one that I go back to because,
way to pick the most expensive show.
Yeah, true, but, it's worthwhile.
I got to pay Shane Taylor.
And Athena.
Yeah. Everyone else, too.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Some of them got paid.
I make the joke. But no, I would definitely pay $40-$50 for the Rumble because it is one of the best shows. I love the Texas Rumble every year.
I agree. Now, let's not make that a constant thing, but
it will be.
Inflation's a bitch.
Yes, it is.
But that was a really great show, and it definitely does set the path to Destiny to be a very interesting situation. Could we see Shane Taylor versus Brick Savage? I hope so.
I mean, Destiny, Purple Rain, something. It is. That's the other thing I do like is how we get the vignette announcing Destiny because we're all thinking, oh, okay, cool. Next month, end of the month, Destiny because it normally is. And it doesn't give a lot of time to build things. That's always been one of my main complaints. So I kind of am glad it's pushed out. But because I got so used to it being close, now I'm like, oh, that's too far. What's going to happen with the title?
There's a lot happening.
But I do like I like the announcement of it being April 8th. And then I also like the fact that they just announced it in general.
As a matter of fact, after the show was over, they announced that tickets for Destiny are on sale now.
Yep.
So get them. But before that, we of course have the Path to Destiny, in which we have MPX Steel Sharpens Steel next week.
And every time they use this show name, I always think, oh, this is the return of Kenny Steele. Cool. He's never coming back, but
it's like,
it'd be cool.
I truly wish. That would be awesome. But the announced matches for this are actually have me really interested in this week because, I mean, for one, Children of the Scorn defending their tag team championship belt against Team Turbulence, a team from Austria, and too damn many Tommies.
Okay, I was going to say, I honestly have no idea who they are. So
they are a team from Austria. They are Tommy Torpedo and Tommy Tornado.
They already ruined it. Tommy Becker's on the show. Damn it.
Yep.
Too many Tommies.
Tommy
Burton, what the fuck?
Yes! Where's the Becker?
Where's Dean?
Yes, please, come back to Tommy Dean.
He's healing up. He's fine.
I know.
He's also got to regrow his shit back out because, sorry, Tommy Dean, I love you, but you look fucking weird.
Did he cut his hair?
Oh, cut his hair, cut his beard. Oh, trim the beard. He ain't cut it, but he trimmed it. Okay. Just cut his hair for sure. Looks a little weird to me.
I haven't seen it yet, so.
I saw it.
But Children of Scorn, I have very little information on Team Turbulence. I'm interested to see how this is going to go because if you don't already know, Europe in general has a different style than American wrestling, but we're going to have Texas wrestling versus German, Austrian,
Yeah, but Gabe's going to fit into that European type wrestling very well.
No, I think he's going to thrive.
Gabe's going to love this match. I think.
Children of the Scorn are the next ones that need to go over to Germany and train.
Oh yeah, WXW, they would fucking kill it.
God.
I mean, Gunther's no longer there to fucking train them, but I think Timothy Thatcher's still there.
Yeah. But it's like I'm definitely, I'm interested in this match.
Yeah.
Not knowing anything else about Team Turbulence except, where they're from and who they are.
And I always like that when we have new talent come in. One, because I like new talent. I like knowing people in wrestling and seeing what they're going to do because you never know when you might see someone on WWE, AEW, or New Japan and be like, oh yeah, I remember when I first saw them starting out. It's always kind of cool to say that. Like I remember seeing Keith Lee before anyone really knew who he was, and that's always cool. And it's also cool to see the growth and development of how wrestlers do. Like we talked about it very briefly here, Tatum. It's great to see Tatum's kind of growth in everything he's doing. Exodus, the same way. There's something about Exodus from the time we saw him, which he always was good, till now it just gets better and better and better.
Yeah, there was an exponential growth for him. And I think a lot of that may have been, just because we saw him get better and better as he faced Tatum, of all people.
Yeah.
We keep talking about that being the rivalry of the century between the two of them. Well, maybe not century, but
they just have great chemistry together, and the matches were always great. But yeah, Children's Scorn Team Turbulence, going to be great. It's going to be curious. Like you said, we know nothing of Team Turbulence, so to see how they interact with Children's Scorn and how they handle a match, it should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Then we also have a singles match between the All-Star Matlock and the Judge Jake Lindsay, who I love his new music.
Trying to remember what it was.
I actually have that written.
I was going to say
it was a cover of Sail.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yes, I do. Yeah, I do like that.
Speaking of which, I do have to say, I really hope Aaron Eagle keeps the music he played at the end of his Addicts match.
I Need a Hero?
Yeah.
I do, but it makes me reminds me of Chris Hero, and I'm like, no, that's Chris Hero's thing. You can't do that.
Yeah, but
and then Chris got his
flies
own.
On the wings
Hero
of an
got his
eagle.
own music, so I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But no,
he's apparently going to use every single Hero song at the end of his matches.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I can see that.
His entrance
when he wins
is going to be the same.
Right.
All right.
But yeah, Locke and Jake is going to be a good match, and I think it's also going to be a huge test and kind of development growth for the Judge.
It just makes me wonder if Jake's going to regret using the words "You're nothing without Matt" against one of Matt's best friends.
I don't know. You've talked to Locke before, and you've seen the ego Locke has. He probably agrees with him. I mean, we kind of know Locke,
but Dylan Smasher is one of his best friends.
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. You saw what happened when Locke has best friends. It doesn't end well.
True.
So, and apparently it doesn't end well when Jake has friends either. So
that is also true.
This is about two people who just fucking hate everyone and don't like friends.
Yeah.
Throw fucking Nick in there. Nick just hates people in general. Always did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this match is going to be very interesting. Like I said, I think this is going to be a huge, huge test for Jake, and that turning and development growth that Jake is going to get out of this match. I think, again, if done right, this is a monster heel to build your company, feud, and roster around.
And like I said, if Red happens to go on to win the belt at Destiny, I think that would really create a really good rivalry between the two of them.
I agree, but I think if that happens with Red, you got to get through the whole JD storyline first.
Of course. There's got to be that comeuppance.
Yeah.
But let's see. There's also Tommy Becker taking on Demo Diamond. I've seen one half of the Diamonds. I want to see the other half now. Or the Brilliant Gems.
So which one have you seen?
Dylan?
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Demo went in, though.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, yeah. No, well, because I've seen them both singly. I finally saw them as a tag.
Yeah.
I like both of them. I think Diamond, and that's only because I fuck up his name every time, so I'm just going to say Diamond. Diamond, I think, is one of those that has an amazing look, has good chemistry as far as a face in ring, just kind of awkward at times. I think once he gets a little more
considering
experience,
how new I think he is,
once he gets more experience, there's something there that's going to be good.
Yeah, honestly, I'm going to be honest. It's like from what I have seen of him, and now having actually seen Dylan in the ring and everything like that, they actually remind me of Top Flight, Exodus Prime, and Cardi Wright from back in their earlier days.
Yeah,
they
I can see
remind me
that.
a lot of them.
I could see that. I also, just because of their interactions together and kind of the chemistry and the teamwork they do, and I mean it's a little more high flying than what I'm comparing it to, but Ryan and Tommy, the Impact players, they remind me of that a little bit when they were faces and they were having fun, and the tag team work they did. Like I said, Diamond and Dylan do a little bit more high flying and a little more quick pace stuff.
Yeah.
But the teamwork is there.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what they really reminded me as, plus of how young they are in the business. It reminds me of when they kind of first started out. And like I said, I would love to see a lot more of Diamond, just because and Dylan too. But Diamond obviously being the bigger guy, I'm like, oh, there's something there. It needs a little here and it needs more work, honestly. And I think, again,
he's going to get it.
He is. He's going to get it. And that's the thing we talked about with MPX. Because it is weekly, seeing how quickly Red and Jake
you
and
get
Tatum,
those reps,
how quickly they develop is because of that. Yeah, I think even Exodus, we talked about there was something that he turned on. I think honestly, what turned on and everything like that was the fact that he was here weekly for the longest time before he was getting booked elsewhere. I mean, he was always booked, but when he had that
man didn't have a weekend off. Still doesn't have a weekend off.
No, he never does. He still works 3 or 4 shows a weekend. Because
we saw him the next night after the Rumble.
Oh,
he may not have been at the Rumble, but he was
working Saturday.
I was gonna say it's like he was busy on Saturday too.
I'm sure he was busy Friday too. But no, that I think there's a lot there with Diamond. And I think this is a good matchup to kind of showcase that with Tommy, because again, the Tommy Becker, one of the most athletic men we've ever had step foot in an MPX ring. They can do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. Then we're also, speaking of teams we love to watch that are still somewhat new and everything, we've got Purple Haze. Oh, man, Prince Alexander and Stevie Hendricks together.
Yeah. I love, I think one of my favorite wrestlers now to watch anywhere I go, if he's on the card, I'm super excited, Stevie Hendricks.
Oh, yeah.
And we talked about it a little bit with Dylan, but Stevie Hendricks, when he's out there, his energy is so fucking contagious.
It really is.
And Stevie just always looks like he's having fun. I have never really seen, at least to my knowledge that I'm thinking right now off the top of my head, I've never really seen Stevie have a bad match or have things to where they are just glaring and glowing like, oh my God, what are you doing? That's so wrong. It seems so smooth and easy for him in almost everything he does.
And his team up with Prince Alexander as Purple Haze, they honestly, they work really, really well off of each other.
They do.
It's like, honestly, I agree with you. I was with you on the whole thing of they have to be a tag team elsewhere. Finding out that no, this is an MPX exclusive.
It's crazy.
It shouldn't be.
No.
I mean, if you guys are watching, which, thank you if you are, but if you guys watch, take this show on the road, guys.
Yeah.
Make Purple Haze happen everywhere because Texas needs to see how great you two are together.
They are. The chemistry is there and they play off well each other and it's great. And then this matchup here with Jerome and Joe.
Yes. The leftovers. They're what's left over from the Sons of Mayhem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The leftovers.
Yeah, we're, it's Trust Fund 2.0. It's new management. Surely the Trust Fund disband, the band's over with. It's new ownership. True. So that's bound to go away, right?
Considering what JD did from the start, I'm pretty sure they're like, no, it's still in place.
Yeah, I don't know. See, they need to look at that contract. So I think the new owners, I don't think the old owner probably forgot to put that in there because that's going to, who cares about that stipulation? No one cares. Yeah, this is it's Trust Fund 2.0. Trust me, I want Tadlock and Jamie back, and it's going to happen, goddammit. I'm getting Trust Fund again.
That would be cool.
Yeah, Demo debuted January 15th last year.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, Purple Haze and JD and Jerome, JD and Joe, this match is going to be, I think, amazing. And if it wasn't for Locke and Jake, I think that would be my match of the night right there. Mm-hmm. What? This is why we don't read the comments.
I know. I shouldn't have looked. But, I'm definitely looking forward to this. Then there's the singles match, Shimbashi versus Mikey B. Now, in the time that we've seen Shimbashi here, the Canadian Dragon has been
This is definitely going to get changed somehow because, they're both heels.
Yeah.
Shimbashi, even in the Rumble, is a heel.
But then again, don't forget, yes, it was the girls, but he got cheered during the Rumble.
Well, I cheered. I was happy to see him.
Well, yeah, but you're a heel, Mark, so.
No, I feel like something's up with that, or it's going to change, or who knows? Maybe Shimbashi does try being a face. Either way,
he could pay.
He could. He could definitely pull it off. I am really, really hate that I'm missing this week for that reason. Is Shimbashi's back and Locke and Jake? Mm-hmm.
So the tables are going to turn on this one. I'm going to have to be
exactly. Oh, yeah, and I'm also not here March 1st either, so.
Really?
Yeah, that's a Wednesday. So unless we move Rehab to Thursday or something. Anyways.
We can do that. Didn't we have somebody on Sunday that we were like, yeah, we can do Tuesdays or Thursdays if we need to?
Yeah, I don't remember her, though. I've slept since then. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I think that match is going to be really good. And like I said, I feel it's not going to be a singles. I feel like something else is going to happen.
I think something's going to happen in there.
So we'll see. And also appearing, has one of my favorite things on there. You're a fucking champion. It bothers me. It's your champion. Why?
Yeah, he's not also appearing.
Why does he not have a match or just even have his own dedicated poster?
I don't know. I mean, it may have something to do. There may be something that he's going to be doing specifically with his number one contender right now. Because Red Chambers is also on the also appearing.
Right.
Isn't specifically booked for a match.
Yeah.
It may be one of those situations where it's going to be the two of them going off on each other, one direction or the other.
Yeah, or maybe that's the kind of like they did. Well, they've already done it, so they wouldn't do it that quick again. But I always enjoyed when you have feuds and rivalries with the pick your poison type match.
Yeah.
So it's either they pick their opponents or they pick their partners. Kind of like, like Locke picked Brick and then, Tatum picked Dylan. Scott. Because now that Dylan's back, we got to differentiate. Or Smasher, whatever. Too many Dylans. Too many Tommies. God. Get some original names. Fuck. I don't care if it's your real name. Change it.
Some of these people, it's their actual name.
I know. Change it. But no, I think it bothers me when he is your guy and he's not. He's on an also appearing. If it was his own separate also appearing or making an appearance, fine. I'm okay with it. And again, I understand this is very minor and most people won't even give two thoughts about it, and management will just come back. It costs money. I get that.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, don't even do something.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to that. Lost Boys are going to be there. Tommy Bolton's coming back, and Red Chambers is also going to be there. So anything could happen, really.
It'd be a good test for Red after winning the Rumble is having to go against Tommy Bolton.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah, definitely. But that is going to be Steel Sharpened Steel this Saturday. Make sure you get your tickets now or catch it on the network when it comes out. But it's going to be a really awesome show, I think. And, make sure you stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, because like we said before, this was a very busy weekend of wrestling. There was a lot of it. We have Texoma, Lucha Brutal, and Hot, because apparently that's what it is now.
No longer Heart of Texas?
Yeah, it's just Hot Network, Hot Anarchy, Hot this, Hot that.
Yeah.
Hot
100.5.
But
don't tempt them.
KBK fade, ladies and gentlemen.
See y'all in like 15, 30 minutes.
Mark out.
That's what broke you of all things.